That's Aretha Franklin 9 months ago, delivering what would end up being her final public performance at Elton John's annual AIDS fundraising gala. Noticeably thinner, the voice a bit raspier, but nonetheless showcasing the incredible range and power that made people sit up and listen. Now, Franklin got an early start in the music industry. By the time she was 14, her father, a nationally renowned minister, was driving her from church to church. And not long after that, she headed to New York City. But her father's influence was far from over. On a visit home, he taught her a lesson Franklin says she never forgot, as she told the CBC in her first Canadian TV interview back in 1998.
I went to New York and I took a few classes, some choreography and some vocal lessons and things like that. And then when I went back home, I didn't think I was supposed to do housework anymore. This is too mundane for me. I'm not supposed to do that. I've been to New York. So I'm a star now, you know, that kind of thing. And everyone else was working, my sisters and cousin, and my dad came in, and I was just standing there watching them do what they were doing. They were sweeping and vacuuming and things like that. And he said, "What's the matter with you?" I said, "What do you mean, what's the matter with me?" He said, "Why aren't you helping to clean this house?" I said, "I'm a star. I'm not supposed to do that. I've been to New York." He said, "Well, listen, star, you better get in the kitchen and introduce yourself to all those dirty dishes in there." And I have not been a star since. Yeah, I really needed that. He grounded me and he gave me balance. And from then on, I'm not a star. I'm the lady next door.
Not like the lady next door at my house. A voice as powerful as the social barricades she sang against and overcame. A Black woman in a white man's industry whose music crossed boundaries and maybe even changed some minds. To talk more about her legacy, I'm joined by Roland Martin, a TV host and a friend of Aretha Franklin's, and by Molly Johnson, a Juno award-winning singer and songwriter. So good to see you both. I appreciate you being here today.
Glad to be here.
So, Roland, did that sound like the Aretha Franklin you knew and know?
Oh, yeah. I mean, she was a regular person. I mean, we first connected in 2007. So what happened was she had her office. So she sent an email to my office in Chicago praising me for my work as an analyst on CNN. Mm-hmm. And my agent, Mark Watts, he sent me an email. He said, we got some email from somebody saying they're Aretha Franklin. then they called. And then I get another email from him and he's going, keep that email. This is real. and so it wasn't until the following year that I got a chance to actually meet her. She was singing in L.A. In February of 2008. And some friends of mine, they had tickets and we went to the concert. And we're sitting about 20, 25 rows back. Great concert. And so I said, well, let's go say hi. She sent me this email. Yep. And so we go backstage and her people are like, "Oh, absolutely, the Queen wants to see you." And so we go in and she goes, "Why didn't you tell anyone that you were here? I would have announced you from the stage."
Oh, man.
And I go, "Well, I mean, I was just here during the concert." And so we talked backstage, we took pictures, and then from that point, she and I would talk, we would text, we would go back and forth. And Christmas, I talked to her on Christmas morning. Yeah. My parents were at my house in Virginia, and we made this gumbo, and I sent her the video, so she called me and she said, "I want some of that gumbo." And for 3 months, she would bug me about this gumbo. She would text me, and the last time we communicated was March 17th.
Amazing.
And I have the text. On March 17th, she sends me this text message, and she says to me, "I want you to come to my house, make gumbo for 6, and she said, "and I'll make the cornbread."
Well, I mean, that all sounds very down to earth, but Molly, she did perform. I know she did perform in fur coats with her purse on the stage. She was also
her purse
very
was
high
on the
glamour
stage because her money was. She would not go on stage till the promoters paid her in cash money, which she carried in a bag, right? Yeah. Onto the stage with her, because that's the kind of business we're in.
Tell me how she came into your life, Molly.
Well, I'm a fan, and I'm a musician, and I'm a songwriter. And what I loved about Aretha was she wrote some of those songs. Mm-hmm. She wrote Rock Steady, which is one of my favorites. Just strong, solid, inspirational singer.
What was she like, though, in terms of, and I'll start with you, maybe, Molly, on this, a Black woman at that time in America, taking that kind of presence on the stage and pushing back. I mean, at one point, even, you know, her hair, letting it go natural and making a statement with that. What was it like for you? Yeah. What was it like for you?
Very inspiring.
Apparently.
Very inspiring.
But did it speak to you in some way?
It really did. Like, I grew up with Black American parents in Canada, so I was very connected and learned a lot about the civil rights movement as it was happening through the 60s. And she, along with Pop Staples and the Staple Singers, were really the voices of the civil rights movement. They created the music that was the backdrop for Dr. King. And I watched all that. The fact that she was in charge of her career in such a strong way was a real lesson to all of us girls coming up. When you look at Beyonce, when you look at Katy Perry, all of us, me in my little tiny way, you know, own our songs, make our decisions, find our voice, find our place because of Aretha, because of what she accomplished in her life. I think to your other guest's point, the fact that she loved his chicken gumbo, she was you know, she presented as a singer of the people.
Yeah.
She connected with us, all of us, in a way through her authenticity. It surprises me not at all that she needed to get that gumbo recipe from you.
And sent text.
And it surprises me not at all that she probably made a very mean cornbread.
Roland, in about a minute, and that's asking a lot, but what was her impact at that time? What sort of impact did she have on the United States, sort of writ large?
She demanded respect. I mean, so the deal is you were not going to mistreat her. Whenever she performed, her purse was literally right next to her, below, by her feet when she played. And that's how she operated. Because, look, they got cheated in the past. But let me also understand this real quick here. She appreciated multiple generations loving her music.
That's right.
Two of my nieces wanted to go meet her. I had a speech. I couldn't go. My wife went. And so they went to the concert, but Michelle Obama and Eric Holder, the Attorney General, were there, and they swept everybody out of backstage. She calls me the next day. She says, "What happened to your nieces?" I said, "Well, Queen," I said, "this is what happened." She said, "No, I told my grandson to bring them back. Let me call you back." She calls her grandson, cusses her grandson out. Calls me back to apologize, and she told him, "When I tell you to bring someone to me, I don't care if the First Lady is back there or the Attorney General. You take care of them."
That's good. Did you really call her Queen? Is that what you called her?
Oh, no. You don't call her Aretha. No. She's the Queen of Soul. And let me tell you, when I talk about she commanded the respect, when she performed at the White House in 2015, she had the air turned off because she didn't like air. And so when she rehearsed, they had to turn the air off.
That's right.
And
That's why she wore the fur coats, too, to protect her throat.
Right. Well, Obama was late coming in, and she said, "Look, he need to hurry up because I don't like all this AC."
Okay, I got to stop.
She told me afterwards.
I got to end it, but I just quickly, just your favorite songs. Yeah, Roland, you first. Your favorite Aretha song.
Oh, actually, from the soundtrack Sparkle Curtis Mayfield did, Jump.
Jump, yeah.
Okay, and Molly, how about you?
Well, I loved the story of Otis Redding writing Respect and Aretha just taking that song away from him. So Respect for me, and Rocksteady, Daydreamer, I could go on.
Oh, yeah, no, you're going to choose all of them, I know. Molly Johnson, Roland Martin, thank you so much. I appreciate you sharing your thoughts.
Thank you.
Okay, have a good night.